Welcome back to the second video. In this video, we are going to look at problem number 14 of our exam. It is extremely important for you to understand the set builder notations. We mentioned that in our previous video before, but let me say that again. In these notations, the elements of the sets go right here, and all the necessary descriptions describing these elements go right here. So in our case, W is a set consists of 3 by 1 column vectors. These are the elements where AX plus BY plus CZ equal to 0 for some fixed A, B, and C, which are real numbers. Here, you have absolutely no control of A, B, and C. There are some fixed number. We don't know what are those numbers, but those are the numbers given, and you cannot change them. So some of the students wrote in the exam that if they like P1 and P2 in W, then P1 is written as A1x plus B1y plus C1z, and P2 is written as A2x plus B2y plus C2z. You see that x, y, and z are fixed, and then A1, B1, C1, and A2, B2, C2, those are the ones that are varies. So this is a complete misunderstanding of the elements in sets W. So if you misunderstand how the elements in that set looks like, then everything you do is just not going to make sense anymore. Speaking of doesn't make sense, you can see that some students pick the entire set and try to add them together. So we never take the entire set and try to add them together. We are looking at the elements of the set. By the way, we are supposed to show that W is a subset of R3. So how is R3 looks like? R3, the elements in R3 are the 3 by 1 column vectors. The element of R3 are not the set, which consists of 3 by 1 column vectors. So this is very problematic. Another mistake, which happens to basically 90% of the solutions, do something like this. They say that let's U and V, they are the elements in sets W. Let's call U as the 3 by 1 column vectors with entry x1, y1, z1. V is the one with entry x2, y2, z2. And then they do the vector additions. So far, so good. And then they say that this, okay, the 3 by 1 column vectors is equals to AX1 plus BY1 plus CZ1, and then plus AX2 plus BY2 plus CZ2. Now, this is something that is very wrong in the sense that the left-hand side is a 3 by 1 column vectors, but the right-hand side is the numbers. So a 3 by 1 column vectors can never equals to numbers. They are two completely different mathematical objects. So you cannot say that this again doesn't make sense whatsoever. So this is very bad presentations. Like how do you really write your actual solution? How do you reflect the facts that you have to use AX1 plus BY1 plus CZ1, and how do you reflect that you have to use AX2 plus BY2 plus CZ2? Okay, so this is how you should write your solutions. First, let's x1, y1, z1, x2, y2, z2, which they belongs to their elements in sets W. You always have to explain what is such a big deal about these two vectors in W. A lot of people doesn't explain that, and they completely miss the point, like why something at another something will equal to 0. So you have to say that let's these two elements in W, and then try to explain what happens to elements in W. Well, if those two are elements in W, then you will have AX1 plus BY1 plus CZ1 equal to 0, and then AX2 plus BY2 plus CZ2 equal to 0. See that in this case, both our equation here, the A, B, and C, they are the fixed number that I cannot change. It has to be A, B, and C. The things that are different are the x1, y1, z1, x2, y2, z2. Now, I try to verify that if I add these two elements together, the sum, which is this, I want to verify that if I add these two elements together, this thing is still going to be an element in W. So I have to verify that A multiply x1 plus x2 plus B multiply y1 plus y2 plus C multiply z1 plus z2 has to be 0. So let me say that again. How do you verify this thing is in W? What is the element in W looks like? Well, A multiply the first entry plus B multiply the second entry plus C multiply the third entry has to be 0. So if you want to claim that this is in W, then you have to have A multiply the first entry, 3 plus B multiply the second entry plus C multiply the third entry has to be 0. And this is what we are checking right here. Okay, we are not using any crazy equal signs to say a 3x1 column vector is equals to a number. We didn't say that. You have to know how to verify an element is in some set. If you do not know how to do that, you are going to have a lot of trouble in this class. So you have to know how to verify properly that something is in a set. So if you want to make sure that this thing is in the set, then you have to check that all these things has to satisfy the description right here. Okay, so this is a checking. By the way, how do you know ax1 plus by1 plus cz1 equal to 0? Well, it is from here. How do you know that you have this? Because it is from here. And how do you know that from here you have this? Well, that is the element of the set. Element of the sets W will have to satisfy these descriptions. So you have to know how to present your solutions properly, because writing good presentations is not a skill that is only good for mathematics. It's good for everything. So you have to know how's the logics go. What is the first steps? How do you write your steps? What should come first? What should come second? These are all critical. So the solution is posted. I just want to comment about the use of the equal sign and the misunderstanding of the elements of a set. So make sure you know how to read set builder notations, and how, when necessary, how do you check, how do you verify that something is an element of a set. All right, we're going to say a little bit more about the other problems in the third video.